Hi drummers, hope you're well. Right, just a quick one about Rockschool grades 1, 2, 3 sight reading. This is a really cool part of the exam. I'm a big fan of Rockschool exams, by the way. I know I put lots of Trinity related videos on here, but Rockschool is great, I think. They're really great exams. They've got banging tunes. And ultimately, in terms of doing grades, I think with Rockschool you get all the same sort of value from it. You learn all the same types of skills. You get all the same types of benefits that you would from studying at any other grade syllabus. And I think they're really, really nicely presented. Just like most syllabuses, you do a whole load of tunes and then you do supporting tests. And the sight reading here is one of the supporting tests. For grades 1, 2 and 3, it's a pretty straightforward thing where you just play on the snare drum. So I'll deal with that in this video. If for grades 4 onwards, it goes to the kit and you play grooves and fills a bit more. But this is what it's all about, man. And as ever with drums, and I feel this, and I say this a lot on this channel, it's all about the basics, man. And for grade 1, 2, 3, all you need to do is get your head around basic note values and playing them on one surface on a snare drum. The note values for grades 1, 2, 3 are quarter notes, eighth notes, 16th notes, so crotchets, quavers, semiquavers, tea, coffee, cappuccino, and there's two other little combination figures of 16th notes and eighth notes. The one that goes 1 E and, like 2 16ths, 1 8th, and the one that goes 1 and 1 8, 2 16ths, so motorbike and black currant. Now I've done quite a lot of videos covering this material, so mostly this video right now is me going to be referring you to the other videos, which I'll link to in the description for this video and in a pinned comment below as well. To kind of take you through in order the things I would recommend studying if you're thinking about this grade 1, 2, 3 sight reading for Rockschool. You're thinking, oh, I'm struggling with this, I find this tricky, I'm a bit confused by this. I'll just present for you basically all the things I've recorded in the order that I'd recommend looking at them. So first of all, I recorded a video a while back which was a talk through of all those note values and those two combination figures, and just to sort of just talk around it a bit and demonstrate it. And I tried to, in that video, answer all the questions that I had personally when I was first learning this, which was quite a lot. I was quite confused by all this, honestly, when I first started. So that'd be the first video. The second video would be a little play-along video where I take those note values and those combination figures, and I play it on a practice pad. It's just a little play-along thing. So we take each of those and we play each note value or figure on a loop, and we just get a feel for each one. We get a feel for playing it, because all the counting stuff, the 1, the 2 and, the 3 E and, all that stuff is super useful, but it isn't the end all be all, and it isn't, this is a super important point in my opinion, it isn't a substitute for feeling the things and having them like in your blood, sort of having them played them enough that you can just see them and quickly play them. So that'll be the second video, just really drilling in on those note values without it being like the actual sight reading, just getting to know, making friends with those note values and those basically five rhythm figures that you'll see. And the third video beyond that will be some very simple 1-bar phrases, which is also like another video that did a play along format, simple 1-bar phrases that could start to combine those note values, and we just start to build our ability to sort of put them together a little bit. So that'll be the main 3 videos, and then the thing to do would be to then turn to the books and look at the sight reading examples. Plus I'll also link to, in the description below, a couple of other books which I think are really useful for getting these basic skills going. One would be Flipper Rhythm, big fan of these. These are just a series of books that have like the cool endless combinations of one-line rhythms to play, just like you'd get in the sight reading exam itself. And I actually would also really, really recommend this one, although this is a Trinity book, but it totally relates to exactly the same skills and vocabulary as you need for Rockschool grades 1, 2, 3 sight reading, and that is Trinity's amazing book Introducing Drum Kit, part 1 and part 2. Big fan of that, and again that just drills in all these basic skills. Now, like I've said a lot, again on this channel, I just think these are such great skills. People often say, oh, the sight reading bit is the most boring bit, I hate it. People say, oh, it's difficult, it doesn't feel like playing music to me. But these skills, in my opinion, are really, really solid gold. I think, I've said this again a few times, I really feel like reading music just opens up so many possibilities, and understanding music theory for drummers is such a valuable thing in my opinion, not least because then you can open a book and you can quickly assimilate music. You can play a song straight away, or you can just learn it really, really quickly. I also think it massively fuels our creativity, like that ability to take in great information and work with it and process it and then use that in our own playing is really, really useful. And I also think it massively improves our ability, in my experience, in my opinion, to play by ear as well. The idea gets put forward a lot that playing by ear, so to speak, and reading music and understanding music theory are like opposites in some way. I totally disagree. I think they work together brilliantly. And if you understand the structure of music from studying it and from learning to read, then when you're playing by ear, or personally in my experience, I find that massively helpful, like a night and day difference, because you can hear the music from an informed kind of perspective and use that knowledge to help you piece together what you're hearing. So I'm a really, really big fan of it, and I recommend getting stuck into reading. That's kind of it. So sorry, it's a bit of a waffly video, but that's it, man, for Rockschool on the snare drum, 4 bars made up of crotchets, quavers, semi-quavers, so quarter notes, 8/16, the 2 combination figures, 1 Ian and 1 Ander. Check out the videos below. First video talks through all that and gets us wrapping our head around the theory. Second video is drilling in the note values and those combinations, those 5 different ones, playing round and round on those over and over, just making sure we can really feel those. Third video is putting together simple combinations, so at that point you'll start to build your skill to be able to sort of combine them in different ways. And then finally, I would turn to the Rockschool book and use the sight reading examples in there. Plus, I'm a big fan of the Flipper Rhythm books and the Introducing Drum Kit books, which is more and more examples of those skills in the same way. Obviously, basically any single line reading book that you have that has those note values in, that's great. So things like Modern Reading Text, I'll link to these as well, actually, Modern Reading Text in 4/4, 1 or 2 others as well. Anything you can get your hands on to read these. Once you've got your head around the theory and you've got a basic feel for each of these note values and combinations, it really is just drilling it and playing it and playing it. And these things, you just start to take it on board, it starts to become part of you. So that's that. I'll do a next video on this for the Rockschool sight reading will be grade 4 and 5, where, as I say, we take it to the kit and it's very, very different. We start to do grooves and fills and that kind of stuff, but it's all based on this stuff, and over again, man, in my experience teaching lots and lots of drummers, hundreds of drummers, thousands of drummers really over all these years I've been doing this, it always comes back to this again and again and again. 95% of the people who walk into my studio for drums and they say, I'm struggling with the reading side of it, sight reading, it always comes back to basics, man. It's just drilling and drilling. There's absolute basics. Quarter notes, 8th notes, 16th notes, and the couple of combination figures that you see, and it comes back to that. Having that being reliable is so important. It's all about the drill, man. So I hope that was helpful. Any questions, give us a shout, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.